I do. Yeah. The case that I alluded to was a case like that. And I did mention that the individual came into therapy through Veterans Affairs and that it was related to military traumas. But there's also a substantial amount of research to suggest that when someone has severe post-traumatic stress from their military experiences and their the soldier next to them doesn't, same, and they've had very similar experiences or witnessed similar things, what's the difference in resilience? And it often has to do with um, not always, but often has to do with severe childhood traumas. So the answer to your question is yes. I do work with people who are still trying to process and recover and redo aspects of their development because it was interfered with by traumatic experiences. One of the things that we know, unfortunately, is that all experiences have an effect on the structure and functioning of the brain, including trauma. Good good therapy like music therapy and other forms of trauma therapy, like things like polyvagal informed therapies and other forms of body-based therapies, um, are can be very good and very effective at helping to cause a neuroplastic response that promotes more functional brain activity, brain structures. Um, so the answer is yes, I certainly do. I'm also a big advocate for the type of work that Bessel van der Kolk, who you might know, he's a very well-known psychiatrist in the United States, who's very interested in non-pharmacological treatments for depression and trauma. And he wrote a fantastic book, which I recommend, called "The Body Keeps the Score." His idea is that when recovering from trauma, the traditional talk therapies can help to a certain point, but because the body keeps the score, because the trauma is imprinted in the physical structures of the nervous system, to make a full recovery, one has to then engage in embodied somatic body-based experiences like yoga, for example. He's a huge advocate of a particular type of yoga therapy, and he's done scientific studies on it at the Trauma Therapy Center in Boston. And he has a quip, a joke I've heard him say several times, where he says something to the effect of, their yoga program has been more effective at alleviating trauma symptoms than any drug that's ever studied. And then so the joke is, well, I don't understand why all the pharmacies haven't been converted into yoga studios. Um, so, but anyway, that's just one form. Music, singing in a choir, singing with another person, playing improvised music with another person is what he's talking about. It's this somatic, body-based version of psychotherapy that sort of picks up where the talk therapy can only go so far, and can help accelerate the therapeutic process and start to take things further. So yes, I do work with that type of modality, and it can be effective. Yeah.